Hey everyone, this is Brian from Bear Bull Traders, Wednesday, October 28th in the evening. Hope you all had a good day despite what happened in the markets today. Maybe, hopefully, you're playing that short because we had some pretty significant sell offs. Rising concerns about the virus spreading, lockdowns in Europe, new lockdowns, tightening again, and what impact that might have, especially in the US with the rising rates. Also, pretty clear now we're not going to get a stimulus package before the election, and probably is high likelihood we may not even get a stimulus package the rest of the year. So I think that's weighing on things a little bit as well. So we've got a big day tomorrow. Apple, after the markets close tomorrow, we've got Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Google, Twitter, Shopify, Starbucks, a lot of names here, and we had Pinterest after the close here today, and it is up big after hours. Looks like it's going to be another. It's going to be a snap type play by the looks of things. So we'll see how that plays out tomorrow in the day trading room. Right now, I'm really sitting on the sidelines, mostly in cash. I really just don't want to be in this market right now. It's just a little too crazy. But let's just take a look at the indexes and see how we finished out the day here. Pretty much everything went out near the lows of the day, which of course doesn't bode well for the following day. But you can see here the transports. There's some topping action, and just Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, every day has been a hard on the bulls, that's for sure. Volume hasn't really been extreme, so we haven't been getting any huge amounts of volume selling off yet, which maybe means that we've got more downside. People haven't capitulated. You can see our stochastics are below 50, so that usually means if we do get a rally, it's probably going to fade. RSI is looking pretty overbought here, or oversold, I should say. Down 4.25% on the day. The transports yields drop back down again. So yeah, some pretty radical moves on the yields. This is the 10-year Treasury, so we had a 0.05% drop on the yields. Again, this may be now indicating that economic recovery may not be as on firm footing as everybody's thinking. The Dow, again, 3 days, 4 days down. Friday wasn't a great day. And again, stochastics, as soon as they start dropping below sort of this 50 level here, rallies tend to fade. So here we've got this big fade. And we're right down into an area where we should be finding some support. Prior support here, the break higher. We had lots of resistance here, which is where we broke out, pulled back, and then went higher. So yeah, we're right into this area where we should be getting some support, the 200-day moving average, as well on volume. So I'd be looking for a bounce, but I wouldn't be I wouldn't be going all in expecting a move back up like this. I think we've got a lot of volatility coming down the pike, coming down the pipe. Boy, the IWM again has lost two moving averages during the last 2 days, and we could potentially have we've got a gap fill here, but more downside potentially on this one. Again, stochastics below 50, MACD rolling over, RSI heading lower. Any rallies, I would say, should be suspect until we get some bottoming action like we saw here back in September. We had this pullback, bit of a double bottom, and then back up again. Again, the Qs, not a great day. Maybe back down to an area where there was some prior resistance, became support, might become support here. And again, maybe we'll see some really blowout earnings from these companies that are reporting after the market close tomorrow. A lot of tech names there, Google, Apple. So maybe we'll get a bit of a bounce from if they come out with some good numbers. But again, all these indicators not looking very good for the bulls, let's say. SPY, same story here. Bit of elevated volume. And yeah, the dollar popped up again today here. We were popped up today. pretty strong. Again, sort of a flight to safety. I've had a double bottom here on the stochastics. I've had a series of higher lows on the RSI, so we may be heading higher here on the dollar, which it wouldn't be good for gold or the emerging markets. And huge spike on the VIX today, which of course isn't really a surprise. So, you know, we get these big spike days, maybe we're going to get a bit of a pullback here. So I'd be watching the VIX very closely tomorrow to give us an indication as to whether things are going to settle down a little bit or whether we are going to maybe head higher if the VIX ends up pulling back tomorrow like it did on these other two occasions. Really getting overbought on the VIX, and yeah, same with the stochastics. So keep an eye on the VIX. TLT, again, yields were down, so the value of the bonds are up. So as I mentioned, I'm going to stay in cash right now, but let's just take a look at the sectors just to see if there's anything that's interesting that's standing out. But yeah, here's the SPY, of course. SPX down big. Pretty much everything was down on the day. Consumer discretionaries, the communication stocks, technology, same story. Industrials, materials, energy is just again, it really just needs to catch a bid here. It looks like it's made a new low. This is the ugliest chart of all of them. But everything just had a harsh sell-off. Even utilities, which is typically a safety trade, took a bit of a hit today. So yeah, there was really nothing spared in terms of the sell-off in this market today. And it could have been some margin calls as well. When you get these big sell-offs, people that are leveraged, sometimes they have to liquidate positions. So you just get more selling, more forced selling, which causes more selling. So as I mentioned at the beginning, I just step into the sidelines on a lot of my swing trades right now for probably at least a couple weeks. We'll get through the election. I just can't tell where the markets are going to go right now, and I don't know if anybody really knows. But I mean, this could carry on into the new year, as I said. I mean, we'll see. Like I said, we'll see what happens next week when we have the election. But in the meantime, let's look at a few stocks that could be interesting swing trades, or not swing trades, but day trades. You look at here, here's what happened with Snap. Snap came out with some really unexpected good earnings, had the big gap up, and dragged a lot of the other social stocks up with it, like Twitter and some of the other stocks that have the same revenue model. Now, tonight we've seen Pinterest. Pins is reported after the close and really just took off. And wishing I was watching it in the aftermarket, wishing I'd bought in when it was down around 51, 52. But anyway, it just ripped higher. I think it went out around 60, 62. So it's going to gap up big here tomorrow. You can see already Pins gapped up on the Snap earnings, just like a lot of other ones. But now Pins is going to really gap up again. And could be a very interesting day trade. A day trader in the morning. I'm sure it will be on our watch list. Again, here's Twitter gapped up on the Snap stuff and it's just been churning along here. Let's see what else we've got. Apple is going to be reporting at the end of today or end of tomorrow. Everybody knows I do not like to hold stocks through earnings. Intel just gave me another reminder of why that shouldn't do that. They had a really bad earnings report. So you can see here, Apple's right back down into an area where it should find some support, 110. But again, it's a crapshoot as to how the numbers are going to be taken when they report at the end of Thursday's market. So that's it. Watch out for Pins in the morning. I think that's kind of all we can do right now. And yeah, we'll just sit on the sidelines and wait for some better opportunities, because like I said, everything is just getting sold off. So Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you hopefully in the Bear Bull trading room in the morning, 8:30. Pre-market show starts with Carlos and Norm, and then we'll be trading the market open at 9:30. So hopefully we'll see you all there. This is my book on Amazon, How to Swing Trade. If you haven't checked it out yet, it's on Amazon. So have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.